What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 515 Sports Podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Bierman alongside, as always, with my boy Chase Winterbore. Back after another week off, a little different than 2 weeks ago when we missed an episode. But 2 weeks ago it was, I can't even remember. Oh, we just, schedules didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then this week was, we couldn't, last week, correction, was your boy decided to get a little sick and still worked the Iowa State game that following weekend and had to direct the game, part of the game, without a water bottle. I didn't have any water from the halfway through the second quarter all the way until I got to my car. So a combination of getting sick, which Chase knows me, I usually get sick around Halloween anyways.
It's a tradition like no other.
For some reason, I always get sick around this time. And you should have heard, dude, you should have heard me on Sunday and Monday. I literally could not get a single word.
This, right?
Dude, I couldn't even talk. It hurt so bad to get any words out. I still ended up hanging out with people and going to a freaking pumpkin patch. And everything.
Also, Chase was Mr. Steal Your Girl Saturday. No, I'm just kidding.
you Chase out here got to watch Iowa State win a football game with my girlfriend before I ever did. That's what
that was awesome, man.
With working in sports, but it is what it is. A big win by the Clones 2 weeks ago, so that was a fun time either way. But I literally could not talk to save my life, so we had to cancel the show. And I'm still. I sound better, but I'm still recovering a little bit, getting the final stage of just being sick in general. So, nose is still kind of plugged, but everything else is good. So, Chase, how are you doing though after the week off?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I visited Hunter this weekend, so dude, I got no sleep. So I actually took Monday off. We're kind of slacking, so. Yeah, it was a long weekend for me. Obviously, it was up till past midnight on Friday because the greatest World Series game ever. And then left pretty early Saturday to visit Hunter. And then sleeping on a couch is never the best. So, yeah.
I don't know. I tell you what, there's a futon in West Des Moines that I absolutely love falling asleep on. I get better sleep on that futon than I do in my own bed.
Okay, maybe I need to check that out. Yes. So, I don't know. It was just a long weekend. Feeling good, though. Iowa State had the bye, so – just could kind of chill out, didn't have to worry about my team losing. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was so tuned out of football last weekend. I did not pay attention to literally anything. Honestly, there was 4 or 5 top 25 matchups, and they all kind of stunk.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember.
Illinois, Oregon was a 38-9 score.
Thank you. That was really bad. Yep.
Texas, Vanderbilt. Okay, that was a 3-point game, but honestly, it never really felt like Vanderbilt was going to pull that one out. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, LSU was a 38-23 score.
Notre Dame was solid, but yeah.
Notre Dame, Navy.
That was pathetic.
Yeah, that was bad. Alabama, Missouri. I think Missouri has a combined 10 points against ranked opponents this year. So.
And it doesn't help they don't have a healthy Brady Cook, but at least my Missouri bet's looking solid.
But. Yeah, the top 25 matchups last week were not necessarily the greatest. And I mean, speaking of the top 25, I think this is kind of what we wanted to talk about the most anyways.
Yeah.
Was the AP top 25 poll in general, not just this week. This week more than other weeks has probably been emphasized.
Yeah.
And I feel like that always happens though the week before the first college football playoff rankings come out, that everybody looks at the AP poll and judges it big time. But this week there were some notable things that I thought were interesting. Some teams that had bye weeks moved down. Some teams that haven't done well at all against ranked opponents are still ranked in the top 25. It's not a good look. And honestly, I'm here. I'm pretty sure Chase would agree with me, and I'll let him kind of rant too. But I think the AP poll needs to go away.
It's bad, dude. It is really bad. I don't know. I don't know, Brock. Do you want me to go on my rant?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Where my question is I seriously just don't know. Where do they get all these voters from? I know you can see every week. I don't know who tweets it out, but you can see each person and kind of there's who their school is and stuff, and how do these people get elected? What is the process behind this? Because I swear some of these people are like literally so dumb. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, man. Like, what was the thing I saw? I saw someone said like they got like Alabama ahead of Iowa State and like Kansas State's not even ranked or something like that. Like, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
really
like,
bad.
I obviously bash on Kansas State, but like, how do you not? I don't know. So first off, I just want to know the process like behind who gets to pick these people. And then yeah, if you just look at it, man, like I don't know. I can just start talking about like the teams and stuff now, but like I don't know. I don't understand how like Tennessee and Notre Dame are ahead of like BYU, like Iowa State, or maybe even Indiana, for example. Like, what has BYU, Iowa State, or even Indiana like done wrong? Like they've gone out. I know obviously they haven't played like great teams yet, but like BYU beat a ranked, actually killed a ranked Kansas State team at home. Obviously Iowa State, I know they haven't played anyone, but at the time beat a ranked Iowa team who's still solid.
I mean, if you talk to Iowa fans right now, they'd be 7-1 if Brendan Sullivan was playing the entire time.
Don't get Brock started. Yes.
My favorite thing is Iowa fans do the exact same thing Iowa State fans do, but they won't ever admit it. Iowa State fans for years have been like, well, if Iowa State and Iowa played later in the year, there's a good chance Iowa State would win because it seems like Iowa State has always been the one that finishes their seasons better than Iowa. And Iowa fans would be like, oh, no, you can't play those what-if scenarios, blah, blah, blah. And now all I'm seeing is if Brendan Sullivan would have played this entire season, Iowa would easily be 7-1, top 10 team, college football playoff contender. I'm like, congratulations. You have a quarterback that can actually run for once.
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
And you beat Northwestern. Whoop-de freaking do. Sorry.
Yeah, Brock, go on your rant.
I just had to do it.
No, yeah. But anywho, yeah, I love that. But yeah, like I don't know, like Tennessee, like if you like look, and obviously, I like the Vols, man. I'm a Vols guy, but like who have like I just don't understand. They've lost to an unranked team. They have one loss, okay? And Iowa State, BYU, Indiana have 0 losses, but they're ranked 7th ahead of BYU, Indiana, and Iowa State. Lost to an unranked team. Yes, you could say at the time they did beat or absolutely destroyed NC State. So which was a ranked team, but obviously we know NC State they really stink now. And yeah, Alabama win. I'll give them that for sure. But still have a loss. And then don't even get me. This is what makes me really happy, Brock, is I'm starting to see Iowa State Twitter absolutely hates Notre Dame now. This is like a dream come true for me, man. It is a dream come true. Obviously, if you guys don't know, Notre Dame is one of my few favorite schools. Absolutely cannot stand this school. Bunch of bandwagon fans, fair weather fans. Don't get me started on these guys. Anywho, lost to a MAC school at home. A MAC school at home, and these guys are
4-3, 4-4 MAC school, by the way.
Yes, not even a good MAC school, and they're ranked in the top 10 ahead of BYU, Iowa State, Indiana. I know they have ranked wins. I know their wins are impressive, but they still lost a game. How are you punishing teams who have not lost? And then Brock can go on now about a certain team maybe dropping in the poll after not even playing this week. So I'll let Brock take over now.
Well, you're talking about Notre Dame. The thing that's so stupid about this is that, okay, no offense to our armed forces academies and all that, but Navy will be listed as a ranked win for Notre Dame at the end of the year. There is a really, really good chance that Navy doesn't even scratch the college football top 25 this entire season.
Yeah.
But on the record books, that will be classified as a ranked win for Notre Dame. Notre Dame also, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to their schedule. They were at A&M and at Purdue. Outside of that, they have one more road game.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Their schedule is honestly one of the dumbest things in the world. And
yeah,
it's at USC. Is it actually at USC or is it a neutral site game? Because it would not shock me if it's somehow a neutral. Okay, it's actually at USC. Yeah. But I think they have a neutral site game upcoming against Florida State.
Maybe. I haven't seen their schedule.
Nope, it's at Notre Dame. But really, they have only had 3 true road games this year.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm sorry. That's
like, granted, that win at A&M was really impressive. Like, I'll give them that. But, like, You lost to a MAC school at home, man. Like, why are we rewarding that? I don't know.
And then you look at the other teams above. This is my thing. The AP rankings. This has to be based on the AP rankings is not a power rating of quality of teams. It is based off of your wins and losses.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
If you're doing power ratings, I can understand why you're putting certain teams up over others.
Yes.
But this is AP top 25 based off of records. There should be no undefeated teams that are in the ACC, SEC, Big 10, or Big 12 that are not in the top 10 at this point in the year.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Indiana should be in the top 10. Iowa State should be in the top 10. BYU should be in the top 10. This is I'm getting to my point of why I think the AP poll is outdated and stupid.
Yeah.
Does it mean Indiana, Iowa State, and BYU are a top 10 team in the power ratings? And if they went head to head on against teams like Georgia and stuff like that? No.
Yes.
But this is an AP ranking based off of records. That's how it's always been. And now because teams like Iowa State, Indiana, and BYU who are normally, BYU is kind of an exception. BYU usually has decent teams.
True.
But Iowa State and Indiana, both undefeated. Indiana's 8-0, Iowa State's 7-0. There's no reason why they shouldn't be in the top 10 of this style of ranking.
Yep.
This specific style. And that's why the AP poll is outdated. It needs to go away. It's kind of pathetic. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh should be in at least the top 15. They're not even in the top 15.
Yeah.
Army should be in the top 15. Undefeated teams at this point. Well, Army might be an outlier because they're not necessarily in a power conference.
True.
But I'm trying to get to my point of this is a rankings based off of like where they're at in their season and their record, not what we think they'll be based off of if they played so-and-so. That's not what the AP top 25 has ever been. And trust me, I know that because I have seen some god-awful SEC teams get the benefit of the doubt.
Yep. And I'm afraid hopefully we don't see that again this year, but it would not surprise me.
Missouri, again, 10 points total against top 25 teams this year, and they're still ranked in the top 25. They're at 25 right now.
It's ranked just UNLV, man.
Sorry. It's all right. But what I'm trying to get to is if we're going to I want a world where there are no rankings from week 0 until the first week of the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
No rankings at all. Because honestly, let's be honest, outside of the top 10, no one cares about the top 25 anymore for the AP poll. Another reason why the AP poll doesn't matter anymore. Because it has no effect on the college football playoff.
Yep.
And so if you get rid of this poll, everybody can do the hypotheticals the entire what week are we in? Week 10 now?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
We're in week 10. For 10 straight weeks, you have a lot of content where you can make hypothetical top 25s, top 10s, playoff rankings, and people still do that anyways with the AP top 25 poll. But still, it will be more entertaining because it's like, oh, Oregon and Ohio State played. Well, Oregon won. How big of a win is that? I hate the idea of rankings, especially the AP poll, because the AP poll is outdated, doesn't matter anymore, has no effect on the college football playoff. I can guarantee you the AP poll and the college football playoff don't look exactly the same next week when they come out on Tuesday. But I just want to get to the point that if we're going to do a ranking system, either have the college football playoff ranking from week 1 or don't have a ranking until you release the college football playoff ranking. Because all these other polls are kind of just dumb at this point. I can understand, I guess, maybe the coaches poll, but like even then, no one really pays attention to that either. So, get rid of rankings, dude. It's just annoying. It doesn't matter. And I guess the only reason they do it is probably to have something to talk about on ESPN.
Yeah. I like that idea though, Brock. Just kind of wait until like the first week of the college football playoff rankings to come out and then just kind of go from there.
Because imagine Alabama and LSU playing before the college football playoff rankings came out, and it's just Alabama versus LSU. There are no rankings to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it'll actually make the committee think about, who has played really good football.
True.
Because everybody bases
just looking at
everybody bases their like rankings based off of preseason stuff and preseason rankings, and that's really hard to do because you can judge a team based off of who they're bringing back, but that doesn't mean anything. Look at Florida State.
Gosh. Yeah, look at Florida State, dude. That's tough. Yeah.
So that's my point. I think the AP poll is dumb. It needs to go away. I can't wait for the first college football playoff rankings to come out because it's really going to be the first time that this committee, who, by the way, are network TV people, I'm pretty sure. So keep that in mind when the rankings come out and who are the bigger TV networks and the bigger TV contracts.
Yep.
It will really be the first opportunity for them to show what they're thinking on how this future of this 12-team playoff is going to look like, because Iowa State and BYU are both undefeated. Let's say they both finish undefeated this week too.
Yep.
There's a good chance one of them gets left out of the first college football playoff rankings because they're Big 12 teams.
Probably, which is crazy to think about.
Because at least one will make it, but there's a good chance that they'll still leave one out.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'm expecting to have one team left out, which is, just sad, but...
And you want another rant? First, before I keep going, are you hoping that BYU and Iowa State are undefeated heading into the Big 12 championship game? Like, are you cheering for BYU to win?
I mean, probably. Honestly, I really have nothing against BYU, so I think it'd be pretty cool. Plus, even if BYU does lose or like Iowa State loses, I think it would give them a solid chance. So
this is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to judge a lot of Iowa State fans, but there are some Iowa State fans that have been mad at me because I want BYU to lose as many games as possible.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with BYU.
Oh, okay.
Has more to do with Iowa State. Because some people are kind of already banking on this idea that Iowa State can finish the regular season undefeated. Okay. You got to keep in mind that you got to take it one game at a time. There is a, and I am not saying that this is going to happen. There is a good chance, though, that this Saturday, Texas Tech walks in and wipes the floor with Iowa State. That's how the Big 12 is. The fact that Iowa State and BYU have been able to make it this far undefeated is very impressive. And that's why I don't think people are giving the Big 12 as much credit as there is, because the league is so good in terms of where they're at level wise that they're able to compete every week. It's not, Illinois and Oregon are playing each other, top 25 matchup, and Oregon's just going to win by 50 plus. But my perspective, because I have a hunch that the TV networks, when the real college football playoff rankings come out for the actual, when they're seeding the actual playoffs, they're going to find a way to screw the Big 12. Iowa State needs BYU and Kansas State to lose as many games as possible, because they need as many chances to get to the Big 12 championship game if they happen to trip against a team like Texas Tech or even Kansas next week. True. So for the Iowa State fans that have like kind of came after me and saying, no, BYU, they need to keep winning. We want to
say that to you though. Like
because they want more teams in the college football playoff representing the Big 12. And I'm from the perspective of screw everybody else. I want Iowa State to have the best opportunity to make the Big 12 championship game and the college football playoff. And so I need Kansas State to lose as much as possible. We need, honestly, if K-State can lose 2 games before they play Iowa State, or even one more, that's amazing. Because if they have one loss in the conference play heading into the final week, and BYU's already clinched their spot undefeated into the Big 12 championship game. Iowa State drops the ball against K-State 11-1, and they don't make the Big 12 championship game,
which is crazy. Yeah.
And they won't even be considered for the college football playoff. So that's why I'm from the perspective of, yes, I would love to have as much representation of the Big 12. That's what, college football college basketball. I love get as many teams in the Big 12 in. It's different with this new college football. Football is completely different. I am a guy that believes screw everybody else. I want my team has as many opportunities to make the college football playoff. And you know what? Teams like Alabama might be rooting that both BYU and Iowa State and K-State are competing for that final spot in the Big 12 championship game, because at least 2 of them are going to have 1 loss. There's a good chance that if BYU and Iowa State both trip up, there's a good chance that multiple of them have 2 losses by the end of the regular season. And that only benefits an Alabama team that I don't think is that good.
Yeah. Yep. I agree, bro. Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I'm totally with you on that. Like I have really nothing against obviously BYU in general, but yeah, obviously I would agree with you. And yeah, it is a lot different than basketball too, where it's like, obviously I love repping the Big 12 and stuff like that, but yeah, like football, like what you said, dude, it's like, just kind of survive and just hope everyone else dies, basically. So
it's a kill or be killed.
Killed. Yeah, it basically is. Yeah.
And
yeah, and I was just looking at BYU's schedule while you were talking, and yeah, they kind of got an easy schedule going out. So
that's why it's rough.
Yeah, they got Utah this weekend, so that's always a crazy game. I think it's at Utah, so we might need Utah to clutch up for us.
And Utah is 4-4 this year, 1-4 in conference play. So Iowa State fans, I'm telling you, you need to root for Utah. I know a lot of people don't like Utah, and that's a touchy subject depending on which social media platform you use.
True.
Iowa State fans, you need to root for Utah in this game against BYU. I get that you want as many Big 12 teams in the college football playoff. You have to remember that the college football playoff is going to give a lot of picks to SEC and Big 10 teams.
Yes.
And either you can be ignorant and not believe that, but when the actual playoff rankings come out, the official ones, when they're actually seeding teams, not the one coming out on Tuesday, because they might be hiding things.
Probably.
Trying to stay face week 1.
Yeah.
But when the real rankings and the playoff is set, there's a good chance that someone gets left out because Iowa State and BYU may have gone undefeated, depending on the situations. You need as many losses as possible from your opponents in the Big 12, especially from K-State. K-State and BYU should both be on your radars. I think K-State should be the team that Iowa State fans cheer against the most, which would be easy because
I already do. So yeah.
But you look at their schedule: at Houston, at home versus Arizona State, and at home versus Cincinnati before they play Iowa State in that final week of the year. So Iowa State fans are on a high right now, and I'm enjoying it too, just as much as everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm just realizing that Iowa State, in my opinion, has a tougher route to the college football playoff than BYU and Kansas State. And at the same time, I don't want Kansas State or BYU to win because, again, they're going to just be the ones that keep Iowa State out from even contending. And I'm not saying Iowa State's going to go to the playoff. I'm just saying the best situation for them, because they're in a position where they could go. They need BYU and K-State to struggle. And don't get me started with Colorado.
Kind of forgot about them, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm with you, Brock. I mean, Kansas State, I don't know if you watched that game, but yeah, they should have lost against Kansas. I mean, they were right on the ropes there.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I know. Of course, their guy just drains a 51-yard field goal. Not even surprised, but yeah, I'm with you 100% on that, Brock.
It's just unbelievable that Kansas State gets so lucky with those games all the time, it seems like. And I mean, sticking with the Big 12.
Sure.
The teams that were supposed to struggle are in the top half of the league, and the team outside of K-State. K-State's the outlier, I really feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe even Iowa State, depending on who you talk to, but I'd say Iowa State was probably given like the mid-tier level of teams heading into the season.
I think so.
But top teams in the Big 12 right now: BYU, Iowa State, K-State, Colorado, TCU, Texas Tech, and Cincinnati. West Virginia, Arizona State right below them. The bottom 4 teams of the Big 12: Oklahoma State, Kansas, UCF, and Utah. 4 teams that a lot of people were picking to win the Big 12. Oklahoma State and Utah probably were the 2 heavy favorites outside of Kansas State. Yeah. Kansas was a team that some people thought, maybe they could be something depending on how their quarterback does if he's healthy. UCF was a dark horse for a lot of people. Now they're all 4 of them are sitting in the bottom of the Big 12. And I think Kansas has to win out to be bowl eligible. UCF sitting there at 3-5, Utah's 4-4, and Oklahoma State's 3-5. So what a year for the Big 12. I'm not going to lie. This has been very impressive to see the entire switch that the Big 12 rankings have had since week 1.
Yeah, and honestly, like, not even like I kind of am surprised, but like at the same time, I'm not. Like, this is just kind of what I expected for the Big 12 too. It's just gonna be a gauntlet, just kind of like what it is for basketball. Obviously, basketball is a little bit different. Like, the top teams should probably finish at the top, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, this is just Big 12 football now, Brock. I mean, you have no idea what's gonna happen each and every week. I mean, Iowa State almost lost to UCF. He's literally at the bottom of the league. I mean, you literally never know what's gonna happen. It is really insane though. Like, I cannot get over the fact that Okie State is 0-5 in conference play.
It was a rough couple of weeks. I mean, this entire year has been rough for Oklahoma State, but they are just not good.
That is crazy. I never thought I would see that with Gundy.
It blows my mind, honestly.
Yeah.
But, looking at other things that happened this past week in the college football world, a lot of the big, like, not storylines or headlines, but a lot of the things that stuck out to me that I thought was kind of cool. I know how big you are in the mid majors of college basketball, but this week was a fun week of college football for like the smaller schools. Kennesaw State gets their first ever Division I program win against undefeated Liberty, 27-24. Did you see that Kennesaw State fans rushed the field early?
Oh, I did see that. Yes. Yeah, I know. Dude, they just got excited, man.
So Liberty quarterback, I think, threw it out of bounds or it was incomplete. All the fans rushed the field. First program win ever. There was 1 second left on the clock. So they had to figure out how to get all the fans off. And shout out Kennesaw State fans. They went all the way back to their seats versus just standing on the sideline.
Yeah.
And then they ran one more play and then they got to rush the field again.
Yeah.
Which is just hilarious. And shout out Kennesaw State for getting their first program win as a Division I college football program. There was another game I'm trying to find. Let's see if I can find
just like a smaller school or
yes, Tulsa. I don't know if you saw the highlights
I did.
For the score of this one. Tulsa won 46-45 against UTSA.
No, I didn't see this.
That by itself is impressive. However, the score at one point, let's see if I can find it here. The score at one point was 35-7 in favor of UTSA.
And they just popped out. Goodness.
Yep. Heading into the third quarter, it was 35-7.
Geesh, I did not even see this game.
I'm not sure how Tulsa won. I watched it.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. Cooper, their quarterback, had 333 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you, though, he threw a wounded duck pretty much every time. I was like, how is this guy
how is this guy
pulling this off? This makes no sense. But Tulsa wins by 1 after being down 35-7 against UTSA.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, you should go watch the highlights on YouTube. It's just enjoyable to watch.
Okay. Thanks, Brock. Yeah.
It was a good game. Akron won 25-21 against Eastern Michigan, which is kind of a upset there when you look at the records wise. Yep. And then Ball State versus Northern Illinois was an exciting finish as well. I don't know if you saw the finish of that one. That was pretty fun.
I did not. No, Hunter and I were watching kind of a lot of that. What was it, the Bama Missouri game?
Yep.
Which it was just a beatdown. But yeah, I did not see this one. No.
Yeah, I think there was if I remember right, there was a blocked field goal at one point. Ball State gave the ball back to Northern Illinois, and then Ball State ended up winning by 2, which was an impressive win, being that Northern Illinois at one point defeated Notre Dame, who is apparently a favorite to win the college football championship this year. But
please stop.
A great win for the Ball State. What are they? The Cardinals?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. The first place Cardinals.
First place Cardinals. First place NFC West Cardinals.
Yes. There you go, Brock.
But yeah, those were just a few games I wanted to point out. Colorado, I guess I will eat crow. I didn't think they were going to become bowl eligible, but here they are, 6-2, and actually 4-1 in the Big 12. A team that could make the not college football playoff, the Big 12 championship. Well, if they make the Big 12 championship and win the Big 12 championship, they'll make the college football playoff. So no, I was wrong on that, and I'll admit that I was wrong.
Yeah, good, Brock.
Doesn't mean that I like them any more than I already do. But I guess shout out the Buffs for actually doing something good for once.
Yeah, no, I was kind of surprised too, man. Like this is like the start of their season, they did not look good at all. But yeah, they've definitely turned it up, and they've looked pretty. They've had a couple of pretty good games, good wins as well. So I don't really know their schedule. I guess I could look it up right now while I'm on here. Might as well. At Tech, that will be a good game. Utah. I mean, I don't know. 1 week at a time, Brock. It's the Big 12, man. You never know what's going to happen, but
yep, 1 week at a time.
1 week at a time. Yep.
I'm trying to look here. Looking at the Heisman odds, it looks like Ashton Jeanty has fallen a little bit. Was plus 225 last week. Is now plus 450. Dylan Gabriel is now the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, which I mean, I guess that makes sense. He's had a good season as well as, the Ducks are probably the best team in the college football world, which we haven't really been able to talk about, kind of the downfall or the little bit of a downfall that Texas has had over the past couple weeks in performance. I think
that is true.
At one point, heading into that Texas-Georgia game, both of us picked Texas to win. You said that Texas was the best team in college.
I thought so. Yeah.
College football, and a lot of people did. College Game Day did. They all picked Texas, and that's when I knew that it was over. I knew Georgia was going to win right after that.
True, after that one, yeah.
But it just shows you how much parity is in this college football world that we live in currently, and I enjoy it. I just hope that the committee doesn't play favorites based off of who has what contract and where they're located and what their name is. I'm interested to see what happens.
See, okay, bro, and I know you're a Miami guy as well, but I kind of want to touch on them a little bit. I don't get I would love to understand the committees or not the committee, the AP polls, understanding this. So Miami, obviously they have no losses, but they've also beaten no ranked teams, and there's been a lot of games where they honestly could have just lost. They did not look good at all, in my opinion.
Because of preseason rankings.
Yeah, is that
that's the only reason why are you asking why they're still a top 5 team?
No. I'm just pointing out I obviously know why, but it's just big name bias in my opinion. But
because they were ranked what? I don't remember. Let's see.
They were ranked pretty high, I thought, at the start of the
season. Preseason rankings, they were. Oh my gosh, were they actually? Yeah, they were 9. So they weren't actually that high. They were 19. Preseason mixture of preseason rankings, because you look at the other undefeated teams left over. Penn State, Oregon, both above them. I mean, Miami's below both of them, which makes sense. They were both higher than them heading into the year. BYU was not ranked. Iowa State was not ranked. Indiana wasn't ranked. Pittsburgh wasn't ranked, and Army wasn't ranked. So. It's a mixture of the preseason rankings and then the fact that they are a brand. So it's unfortunate. And 3-loss Alabama team will always be picked over a 3-loss team in the Big Ten, not named Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah,
that's just the world that
what it is,
we live in. And we got some big games this week that may ruffle the standings a little bit depending on what happens and where things go. But before we get into some other college related things, we want to say you suck to Hunter Rose for killing the vibes yesterday during our recording of the Hardwood Convos podcast.
Dude, amen. That was sad, man. That was really pathetic.
So we're recording this podcast here on a Wednesday night. We were recording the Hardwood Convos in the middle of the Dodger game the night before, and Chase and I were just having a good time trying to vibe up 3-0. That's what happens. And then Hunter's like, you don't want to jinx it. See, jinxes don't happen until someone mentions it.
Thank you. Yes, I agree, Brock. I agree.
So if any Dodger fan wants to blame anybody for that loss last night,
we're blaming Hunter.
Blame Hunter
Mr.
Rose.
Debbie Downer himself. Yeah.
Mr. Milwaukee Bucks fan, Hunter Rose.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte Hornet fan, Hunter Rose.
Charlotte Hornet, yeah. Not a fan of Anthony Davis for MVP.
Yeah. Sorry if I just randomly start yelling here if Freddie hits another homer. The game's just starting
to top the first.
It's just starting up. So yep. Sorry if you hear me yell again.
Oh, by the way, shout out New York when they saw they're like, oh, they got Ice Cube performing before the game. We gotta get a rapper. We gotta get a performer that like epitomizes who New York is. Everybody's like, let's go with Fat Joe. At the same time, really Fat Joe isn't so fat anymore. He's just Joe.
He's just Joe. Yeah, that was really hard to watch, dude. I know.
And he was yelling. Yeah. He wasn't even rapping, and he was behind too. It was terrible.
Yeah, he was. I know. If the Dodgers do lose tonight, though, and it does go back to Game 6 in LA, I think we got to bring out Kendrick Lamar, man. I think that would finish him. I really do. I don't know what Brock thinks, but
anytime I could see Kendrick on live TV, I'll take it.
Yeah,
he's already performing at the Super Bowl, man. I wish that people weren't so sensitive of what's said on TV. I wish there was like an uncensored version of the Super Bowl. There should be like two broadcasts where you can have the regular TV, like FCC stuff, and then you got one where they don't push the mute or the mic, like whatever, the censor button.
Yeah,
because Kendrick this has a chance to do the funniest thing in New Orleans in the Super Bowl this year. But for one, I would be a big fan of that. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Or or the Dodgers could bring out our boy T-Pain.
Bro, shout out T-Pain. Chase and I were texting today. Chase and I, we send each other like a song of the day every day that we're listening to while we're at work. And I was listening to some CV and T-Pain, and man, dude, T-Pain is what The Rock used to be in Hollywood. It seems like The Rock had a movie coming out like every other week, and early 2010s, late 2000s, like it seems like every other month T-Pain was featured in another song that like either went number one or was like trending in the charts.
Dude, amen. Literally, dude. Generational run.
Unbelievable. And he's actually a really good singer. Everybody was like, oh, he's an auto-tune guy and all that. No, you should like look up some of his actual like singing stuff. Like he knows what he's doing. He's pretty good.
Amen.
I'd go see T-Pain concert, man.
T-Pain, yeah. No, I'm with you, Brock. We had to throw a little T-Pain love in here.
We had to. But yeah, I was texting Chase about how I listen to the heaviest of rock, and then I can go to like Bad Bunny, and then go to a Ariana Grande, and then back to like heavy metal screaming music all within like 15 minutes.
That's right. Music appreciation right there.
Love it all. I guess I love it all. I don't know. All that except for country. If you play country, except for like a few people, Jelly Roll is like one of the guys I'll listen to.
Sure.
But outside of that, screw country. But
yeah, I'm with you, Brock. Like I'll listen to some country, but yeah.
Trying to see if I have my pass. I don't.
What are you looking for?
My media pass that I had because I worked the George Strait concert.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm not a country fan. I just got the text. He's like, "You want to work George Strait concert?" I was like, "Sure," because I'll be able to say I went to a country concert that everybody wanted to go to,
and just rub it in their face.
And just rub it, yeah, exactly, and rub it into their face. And I could say I was at Jack Trice when they sold alcohol to the
to the
public. So
that is a combo for a different time. Yes. Fun story.
Just curious. I want to get your opinions since we've been talking so much about Iowa State. Sure. What's your thoughts on the song "Mr. Brightside"?
Why is this a Van Winkle question?
Yeah,
dude, I like it, man. I don't know what all the hate is all about. I think he's just thinking about it like too much. Like I don't know.
Okay, so me personally, it's a cool song in terms of getting the fans involved because everybody knows all the words to it, except for me. I honestly have never taken the time to actually read the lyrics or learn anything about it. I don't really know.
Yeah.
The best part about it is that there's a chant that happens after the chorus that the fans do that is not appropriate for this podcast.
True, not for the podcast, yep.
But it seems like anytime that we do it, it always ends after the chorus so they can hear the fans talk some crap. But I would rather have, and especially in that situation where Rocco scored the game-winning touchdown and the 2-point conversion, to play "Turn My Swag On" over Mr. Brightside.
Okay.
Because I love the fan interaction. Turn My Swag On already has just as much fan interaction as Mr. Brightside.
Okay.
But at the same time, the players get involved too.
Sure.
The mosh pits at like the 50-yard line and all that.
That
the
is
amount
true.
of times that we've seen that at Iowa State games when they play that is just amazing. And that's why I think that song should be over Mr. Brightside any day of the week.
Okay.
And by the way, for those that are complaining about when we're playing Juicy Wiggle,
yeah,
you have to understand that sometimes Juicy Wiggle is needed in order to get the fans pumped up.
Thank you, Brock. Get them going.
Fans were quiet around that time. And I get that a PAT may have been blocked, but still, sometimes we need to like, everybody's like, it just has to happen at the highest of highs. And I'm like, sometimes it's able to help create those highs. And so sometimes we need to inject it into your veins. Sometimes, whether or not you like it or not, we have to play it. And
exactly. Yeah. Why don't you guys? How about everyone else just does Brock's job for him then, huh? You guys want to
that? I will say that's not my choice. I just listen to everybody else. But
I know. I just like saying that. If you're gonna complain, then just how about you do it?
And I keep the mindset when I'm working, and again, I don't get to choose the stuff, and I enjoy everybody that I work with and everything that we do. It's a fun time. I always go with the mindset, and maybe other people I work with think this too, but like football specifically, you're not guaranteed that you're going to play that song, and it's kind of a tradition to this point. So anytime you can actually get the opportunity to play the song, it's you got to do it.
Amen. Yes. Yep.
And people are forgetting that we played it a couple weeks before that after a missed PAT.
Yeah, I think what's been going on with the PATs, man? I just realized that.
I mean, we can't be amazing at special teams. You just got to.
That is true. I forgot.
Got to accept that. But
I forgot we are. I was. Right.
But no, I just wanted to get your opinion on the Mr. Brightside.
I'm not sure. Now, honestly, I don't mind it. I know Van Wink is. Yeah. Oh, Van Wink.
It's right. I'm not a fan of it. So I'm not a fan of the song. To me is just meh, and I don't know the actual lyrics. I've been told that it just doesn't fit the vibes. Again, maybe if I look at the lyrics, it'll make more sense. But it's probably one of those songs that's like very upbeat, and then you read the lyrics and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
but
I don't know. I think everyone's doing a great job in the production team, so I just want to give them a shout out.
We try.
Thank you. Your work does not go unnoticed.
It's been so fun, man. It's the walkout, man. I will have literal like goosebumps. My hair is like sticking straight up.
Yeah, it is.
Until kickoff, like it's and then like kickoff. Honestly, like the game time is like the most relaxing part of everything. The pregame stuff is so stressful,
dude. No, I bet it is. Yeah, there's so much probably going on too, and
we go through so much. So we have like that mobile camera that we follow the players in the tunnel and everything.
Sure,
they have to go through and credit to the full-time crew at Cyclones TV that put in all this work and try to improve the technology and the environment at Jack Trice for games. I feel like their work doesn't get credited enough because you go on social media and people just trash the smallest little things of
literally
timing and what we do versus what we should do. You don't understand what it's like to put together a whole video board show and coordinate it with cameras, replay operators, graphics, all that stuff. It's one of the hardest things that you can do. And it is not for everybody because a lot of people would love to just watch a football game. You put them in a control room and show them how to run everything. There's a good chance they will easily get distracted because even I get distracted.
Yeah, you're just trying to watch the game and
But like pregame, we run all of our tests through everything multiple times just to make sure that everything's working well. Because even if we know 1,000% that it's working, we don't want to even face the slight chance that something will glitch. So, no, that's just another little rant for me. I guess it's just a ranting day.
It's a rant night. Yeah, we're fired up on this Wednesday night.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about before we get into our games of the week?
I don't think so. I just kind of wanted to mention T-Pain, so we got that out of the way.
I wish I was going to a T-Pain concert next week.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Zay. Going. I don't know when he went, but I think it was this summer sometime. But should have just had you, man.
Jealous.
Sorry.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into our games of the week. Chase and I think we had identical picks last week, so we both went 4-1. Shout out my week 8 record. That was very impressive.
Week 8 record. Oh my gosh. I did not even see that.
You want 0 of 8. I have went 5-0 twice, 4-1 3 times, and 0-5 once.
I did not even see that, Brock. You should not have even told me anything.
No, I think it was hilarious because I literally just could not buy anything. I think everything that would have went wrong in all those games. Let's see if I can remember what games those were. Let's see here. Did I even post them? I don't even know if I did. I picked Nebraska versus Indiana. Great start.
Yep.
Picked Bama versus Tennessee.
Yeah, I really liked Bama there. Yeah.
Picked Illinois versus Michigan. I picked Michigan versus Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Picked Arkansas versus LSU, and then picked Texas versus Georgia.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. It's okay. We're on the we play present right now, man. Play present. We're good.
Yeah. So we got this week's games of the week here, starting off with 11 a.m. big noon kickoff. Number 3, Penn State versus number 4, Ohio State. Talk about Penn State is always that team that is really good and then plays Ohio State or Michigan and drops the ball. Maybe things change here. Arkansas hosts number 19 Ole Miss at 11 a.m. as well on ESPN. And then we got another 11 a.m. game, this time on FS1. Number 24 Illinois hosts Minnesota. The Golden Gophers looking to play spoiler to Illinois' season. Illinois has dropped a stinker of a game versus Oregon last week, but still ranked. So we'll see what they do there. Indiana, number 13, is on the road on Peacock, by the way. This game's on Peacock only. Peacock. Number 13, Indiana will travel to play Michigan State, the Spartans, who have had a couple of decent wins this season. We'll see if their streak continues. Almost had a win against Michigan, just Michigan, no state, last week. And then a top 25 matchup at the end of the night on the ACC network at 7 o'clock. We got number 20, SMU, versus number 18, Pitt. So, Chase, who you got for the first game between Penn State and their rivals, Ohio State?
Ohio State, yeah. This probably will be the best game of the weekend, or it should be at least. So it'll be the little 11 a.m. kickoff. Gus Johnson, Brock's boy on the call, I assume.
It's gonna suck not hearing Maserati Marv.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. That's okay. Yeah, I think this game's interesting. But I don't know, man. Until I see Penn State prove me wrong, I think I'm gonna go Ohio State here. I think I don't know if you saw this, Brock, but I didn't realize that Will Howard wanted to go to Penn State. I don't know if you saw that story. And yeah, he sounds like he's pretty upset about it. So and I'm not a huge Will Howard guy.
I was gonna say Will Howard praise on this podcast. What is going on?
I don't think he's great, to be honest. But I think he's gonna be coming in with some extra motivation. Also not a night game for Penn State, so not really. I don't know. And like you said, Brock, Penn State just always blows it against Ohio State or Michigan. So until James Franklin proves me wrong, I think the Buckeyes get it done on the road here. So,
do you watch Josh Pate or listen to Josh Pate at all?
Not. I love the guy. Just from what I see on Twitter, I don't really listen to him much though.
So he brought up an interesting point that people have called Penn State overrated for years.
Sure.
Guilty as charged. I've done that.
Yeah.
I've since changed my mind because the teams that they usually lose to are Michigan and Ohio State. Yep. And most of the time, Michigan and Ohio State, when they play Penn State, are ranked higher than Penn State. So you're not really overrated if you're not losing to teams that are ranked higher than you.
Exactly. Yeah. They just can't get over the hump. Basically.
So this is the first time where they could be considered overrated, depending on what Ohio State may or may not do to them as the lower ranked team.
True.
Again, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm going Buckeyes in this one.
Yep.
I still think Ohio State is a championship contending team. Penn State hasn't really proved anything to me that jumps off the page of impressive. I mean, the Bowling Green game from week 2 or week 3 comes to mind where they struggled to even pull away from Bowling Green. And I mean, they did at the end, but it was in garbage time, really. Yeah. So I'm going to go Ohio State just because I believe in them a little more than I do Penn State, and that's just based off a track record between these two teams. If it was a night game, maybe I go Penn State just because they probably would have done whiteout, and whether or not people want to admit it, that is a home field advantage for them.
Yep. I like that take, Brock. I would agree with you, man. Yeah, next game here, Woo Pig versus Ole Miss. I know Arkansas, they had that big win against Tennessee, then couldn't get it done against LSU. What was it, last week, I think? Or the week before.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I would like to see Arkansas win. I think it'd just be awesome. Plus, it might help out Iowa State in the long run. But I just think, I don't know. I think Ole Miss gets it done here. I think Ole Miss is literally just like on life support right now. Like they have to win the rest of the year. They're going to be focused. I think I can see it being a really good game, but I think Ole Miss squeaks by here on the road.
Whoops.
Oh, what's up, Brock? Oh, hey, man.
I don't know how to do that.
What's okay?
Whoopsies.
Hello? Oh, there. Yeah. But yeah, I think Ole Miss gets it done here. Not much.
I did it again. Oh no.
Okay.
What am I doing here?
I'll just leave. It's okay.
No. Don't leave. I was trying to.
Yeah.
It's not working. Why is it not working? 1 sec here.
Very good.
No, I was just gonna look up just information. First of all, this is a tough game for me because I like both schools.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went back and forth on this one multiple times. I'm just going off of a coin flip really on this one. Let's get the mashed potatoes ready.
All right, let's get them ready, baby. I like it, Brock. I'm cheering from.
I don't know. Something weird in Ole Miss's program is just going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. We'll see what the off season brings if they continue to fall. Maybe there's a team in the state of Florida that opens up that Lane Kiffin may want to take over Ole Miss, because Ole Miss is a good program, but they're no blue blood or known brand in the college football world compared to a team in Florida. Maybe there's two teams in Florida, depending on what ends up happening at the end of the year. So give me the Pigs. Give me the mashed potatoes. Let's go. Let's go Hogs.
Let's go Hogs. All righty, Brock. I like it. Next game here, Illinois, Minnesota. I think this game is really weird to me, Brock. I'm not going to lie. This is one of the games where I will just make my pick off the line. I'm really surprised that Minnesota is a 3-point favorite here. On the road against, and I know AP poll does not matter, but against a ranked team, and they're favored by 3.
A ranked team that's trash.
Yeah, really weird to me. So I'm just going to trust Vegas here and go with Minnesota. I don't have a lot of explanation other than that's a sus line, so I'm going to see what happens.
Similar thing as you, sus line. Give me the Golden Gophers.
Yep. Keep it simple there. Next game, man. I think it's going to get fishy now. It's that time of year, Brock. I think my boy Jonathan Smith has the Spartans prepared. Indiana, tough situation, man. They've been playing good all year. They are a very good team. But I think not having that, I think what's his name, Rourke or whatever, that starting quarterback, I think it's finally going to catch up to him. Michigan State's going to be ready to go. They were fighting for a spot this year. I think things get fishy in East Lansing this weekend, and I'm going to go the Spartans here with a little upset.
Indiana is coming off of a good win last week. College game day was there. They're on a high. So a mixture of that and the situation that Chase mentioned. Give me Michigan State to spoiler to Indiana's perfect season.
My man, that a boy, Brock. Yeah, watch on Peacock only. So
got the cock.
Yeah, there you go. What Brock said. And then an interesting ACC matchup for our nightcap here. SMU hosting Pitt. I know we talked about Pitt a little bit before too. Still have not lost a game all year. I think this will be a big test for them, especially going on the road. I don't know. I was a little kind of lenient on SMU to start the year, but they have figured things out recently. I think I'm going to wait. Who did I pick, Brock? Now I'm kind of up in the air. Who did I don't even remember who I went. SMU? Yeah. Okay.
You picked the ponies.
Now I kind of talking about Pitt now. I kind of want to see Pitt win, but I think I'm going to go with SMU. I'll keep it with SMU. I kind of forgot. Sorry. But yeah, I think this being a home game, their first year in the conference, I think they want to prove something. So I'm going to go with SMU here. I think Pitt obviously is a very good team still. I think I like the home field advantage this one night game. We're gonna go SMU.
Give me the ponies.
Pony up. Yep.
Pony up. All about the ponies this week. I'm not sold on Pitt. I'm more sold on SMU, who already has a loss, and it was an early season loss. Than Pitt, who's undefeated. So we'll see. But so Chase and I have Ohio State both winning. Chase picks Ole Miss. I pick Arkansas. We both have Minnesota winning, Michigan State winning, and SMU both winning as well. So those are our picks for this week's games of the week. Did you have a underdog of the week by chance?
Oh, I don't think so. I've been so bad on those, dude. I've given up, man.
You've given up. Oh, by the way, shout out me for not. That doesn't sound humble at all. Shout out me though for
not Brock.
Yeah, for picking out the stinky line at the Iowa-Michigan State game.
Yeah. I forgot you were on that. That boy, Brock, dude. Yeah. Was Iowa even leading at all that whole game, or?
I don't remember. I just remember that they lost. Based off of that, I'm going another Iowa stinky line. Iowa +3 versus Wisconsin. Iowa.
Oh, they're dogs at
correction.
Home?
Wisconsin +3 versus Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Give me Wisconsin to win outright.
I think Wisconsin's been playing a lot better, man. I'm impressed with them. They honestly played really well against Penn State. They're just couldn't pull it out, but that should be. That's a night game, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Because the Big Ten was like, we want Iowa and Wisconsin on NBC at 6:30.
Yeah, that's gonna be a high.
That's what we want. That is the epitome of our conference.
Yeah, what other night game? I guess obviously the SMU game. What else is on? Because I know Clone's at 2:30.
USC Washington.
Stop. The Cox, man. Cox and A&M. I'll probably be watching the Cox and A&M.
Dude, some of these, the fact that we've had looking at the games of the week, we've had Arkansas 10 times. It feels like Ole Miss every other week. Illinois has been on here multiple times.
They have.
It's just hilarious.
They just keep playing. Yeah, good, interesting matchups. So gotta include them
for sure. But we'll see what happens. I know you want to get to your Dodger game. Hopefully the Dodgers will end up winning.
We're already down 0-3, Brock. So we'll see you at Game 6 in LA.
Maybe I do need to put this on.
The Puig jersey? Yeah. That's good. I heard, I realized Fernando Valenzuela's birthday is actually on Friday. So I think it's going to be from the sports gods that we just get it done in LA for him on his birthday. So
would you want to go live next week during the college football playoff rankings?
Yes. What day is that?
Tuesday,
yes. I should. Oh, yeah. I should be able to.
Wouldn't be the only poll that people get pissed off about.
Oh God, yeah, that is actually ironic. Yeah, but yeah,
we might. We'll see. We'll figure something out because I'm going to be West Des Moines that night. I'll be in West Des Moines pretty much all week. Well,
yeah.
If I'm not in Chicago or Kansas City, I'll be in West Des Moines all week. So we'll have to figure something out. But
okay.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited for the first college football playoff rankings to be announced because
I am too, man.
It's about dang time that we get the real rankings that actually matter versus the AP poll. So
yeah, yep.
So we'll sign off here for Chase Winterbore. I'm Brock Bierman. Make sure to watch out for that Iowa-Wisconsin game. Give me Wisconsin plus 3 points. Maybe they win by 1. Maybe they lose by 2. Either way, that's still a cover. Not that I'm taking that again. I can't legally take that based off of my positions, but I don't gamble. But watch out for that. That's an interesting line to say the least. So for Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Bierman. We are the 515 Sports Podcast crew here on the 515 Podcast Network. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure to check out our other shows, the Sports Nerds and the Hardwood Combos, NFL, NBA. Dawson and I had a great episode. I put the Detroit Lions number 1 in my power rankings this week versus Kansas City. I think Detroit's playing their best football, man. Got to tune into that episode to figure out why I put them over Kansas City. So we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy the games.